Welcome to another data science deep dive on our technical track. In the following presentation, Puneet Gangrade, data science team lead at MightyHive, highlights the best practices and results of a client case study on improved advertising efficiency while protecting user privacy using Google Ads Data Hub. Enjoy!
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me for the session on optimizing media frequency using Google Ads Data Hub and differential privacy. In the session, we will be going through the best practices, steps required, prerequisites of implementing end-to-end use case frequency and reach optimization using Google's privacy-safe platform, Google Ads Data Hub. And we will be learning concepts related to differential privacy. Just to give a little bit of background about me, I have overall 8+ years of experience at the intersection of data science, digital analytics, and digital advertising, where I have fortunately got to work with problems related to media optimizations, website optimizations, customer segmentation, predictive modeling, etc. And currently, I'm at MightyHive as a data science team lead since last 2.5 years. Introducing MightyHive, we are a part of a bigger firm, S4 Capital, which is led by Sir Martin Sorrell. So where do we really fit in? MightyHive is the leading data and digital media consultancy that helps marketers take control. And it's a global team of consultants, data scientists, marketing engineers, and platform experts. And we try to provide advisory for business transformation and provide marketer data expertise and digital media services for marketers, leading change and innovation in their own organizations. So we basically represent a part of consultancy, a part of an agency, and a part of tech platform in short. We are a global firm and we help clients globally. We also help clients who have regional departments in the regional countries. Overall, we have 24 global offices, and we are a certified partner with Google on Google Marketing Platform as a sales and implementation partner and Google Cloud partner. And we are specialized in, we are certified in specializations of marketing analytics, and we are certified in Salesforce consulting as well. What kind of work do we do? So we are expertise at the intersection of data and analytics and digital media. So broadly, we categorize our services as data and analytics and digital media. And these are the pillars on different kinds of service offerings. So ranging from cloud infrastructure, analytics, advanced analytics, implementation, including all kinds of optimization related problems, website optimizations as well, and stretching from attribution modeling, predictive modeling, segmentation from the data side. And from the digital side, MightyHive started as a media buying company, but right now we provide a lot of services related to media activation, media advisory, and audience monetization, which includes detailed service offerings such as strategy building, media buying, creative insight personalization, and end-to-end training and platform optimization as well. So today we'll be learning about what kind of a digital landscape we are living in and how it's dynamically changing, and what kind of changes that we have to do on our side to adapt to the changing privacy rules and laws. With that, we will be having a quick introduction to Google Ads Data Hub, and we'll be learning about privacy checks that happen in Ads Data Hub. Then we have an end-to-end case study with some graphs and results, which highlights the results of a reach and frequency use case for US e-commerce retailer. And then we have a couple of more ADH use cases that we have implemented with the clients, and there are many more as well. And at the end, we have additional resources that provides a list of URLs that help us and that could help you as well in learning more about any of these topics related to privacy, Google Ads Data Hub, differential privacy, overall. So getting started, so what kind of things that we're going to talk about today? So we will start with how privacy-safe platforms provide feature-proof solutions, and in specific, we will be talking about Google's Ads Data Hub. And as we know that media optimization is an ongoing process, and we know that advertising dollars can be saved in multiple ways, we're going to discuss one of the ways where we find a balance between reach and exposure frequency. That is, the number of users reached and the number of impressions shown to each user. Uh, and this is implemented with a defined set of success KPIs. And as we know that each industry customizes the reach and frequency to their own tactics, therefore the success metrics, success KPIs can also change. For example, a CPG company may decide to have an exposure frequency different than an e-commerce retailer, depending on their business, depending on their tactics, time of the season, could be any other reason as well. Whether you are reaching prospecting customers, prospecting users, or retargeting customers, uh, and yeah, there are multiple ways to attack that same problem. At the end, we will be discussing the results and the approach of a client case study that MightyHive, and we'll be discussing how MightyHive improved advertising efficiency for an e-commerce retailer in the US while protecting user privacy using Google Ads Data Hub. Talking about the digital landscape and why there is a need for new way of measurement. And this is a timeline that shows that over the last couple of years, there have been a lot of changes in the way companies are defining privacy rules, or the government is defining privacy laws, starting from the scandal that happened with Facebook, with Cambridge Analytica. And then we know that GDPR came into the scene. So the top companies making changes in the way operating systems collect data, the browsers collect data. So Google, Facebook, Apple, all of these companies have been at the forefront of implementing those privacy-related rules and restrictions. And recently, if you move towards the right in the timeline, in the last couple of months, Apple has announced that there will be restrictions on the way IDFA is going to be used. That means an ID for advertiser for in a mobile device. And recently, from July 1st, CCPA has gone into effect in the California state. So overall, there are a lot of changes happening, and they will keep happening as and when the companies and the governments keep making new rules. And we have to come up with a solution for it. And there needs to be a way. There has to be a way of doing this kind of a measurement. And Google Ads Data Hub basically provides the foundation of that particular measurement, and it gives us a privacy safe platform. Introducing Ads Data Hub. What is Ads Data Hub? Ads is Google's privacy safe SQL query environment for event level marketing data that's collected from your own, like advertisers' brands' own Google Ads, YouTube Reserve, Campaign Manager, and Display and Video 360 accounts. That means we have end-to-end log-level data similar to data transfer, but with the availability of more user IDs available for us to query. What's ADS mission? ADS mission is to build a privacy-safe, scaled infrastructure encompassing all data needed to achieve better business outcomes for marketers by providing like greater access to Google data, an overall privacy-safe environment, a flexibility around how the queries could be written and how the queries could be results could be analyzed, and eventually a possibility of combining first-party data as well, along with your platform advertising data. Yes, Ads Data Hub features access to unique event-level data. As I highlighted, it provides us log-level data for our advertising platforms, native Google Marketing Platform log-level data. And also allows us to work on Google Affinity and in-market audience and build optimizations and aggregate analyses for a deeper, richer understanding of your users or customers. It allows us to also work on our first-party data. It could be like CRM data. It could be offline conversions. And we get to uncover the insights by joining on our first-party IDs as well. So what are the different privacy checks available in Ads Data Hub? Because from the beginning, I have been saying it's a very privacy safe platform. So definitely it doesn't provide you to do anything at one user level, like at each individual user level. So anytime I'm trying to export a user identifier, that is a static check. I will not be allowed to do that because I am not allowed to study one user, two users, or three users. And then there is a second aggregation requirement. And the requirement says that there has to be a minimum 50 unique users for impressions and minimum 10 unique users for clicks or conversions when I have to do the analysis, like when I have to output the results. If it's less than 10, you will not be getting the results that you are expecting. The last check is around differential requirements, and that's what the title of the whole talk is all about. It provides history checks. So there could be a way that when we are trying to re-query the same data again and again with different rules, like a mix and match of different rules, we will be trying to compare the results of this job with my previous job. But that's also not allowed because Google understands that we are doing the analysis on the same set of data to extract something which is basically not privacy approved. So that is where the differential privacy comes into the scene. So these three checks happen at the same time, and when you're running a SQL query, these three checks happen, and either it allows you or it doesn't allow you to provide your results, and everything has to be in aggregate. Yes. So what kind of a value that we're talking about? So we know that every customer has value. Like we know that like my data needs to stay away from you. Like one company's data needs to stay away from other companies' data. And as there is a lot of prospecting advertising happening, all the platforms are saving data, like collecting data, but it still has to be different. Like my company needs to stay away from your data, and your company needs to stay away from my data. And that is where the need of joining comes into the scene for richer insights. So example, like if I am a user who has been approached, who has seen ads from all kinds of advertising platforms like Facebook, Amazon, Google, all of these systems have my data, but these are not allowed to talk to each other, and they should not be allowed to each other. So that's where a privacy-safe platform comes into the scene, which stores the data, which collects the data, but does not allow you to extract that data for a user, for each user. So what kind of an example I'm talking about? It's this. We have platforms, these kind of, so I have opted in, and I have different brands reaching out to me, and different publishers and platforms have my data. And what I am trying to make sure is I am joining the data. I'm still trying to make sure that I do not get to learn about just one user. So what are we really working on in this case? So we have two different data sets that are supposed to be merged with each other. So we have Ads Data Hub, which is acting as a solution or a Switzerland for data. It allows us to query, it allows us to join and extract aggregated results. For an example, this is a hypothetical example where we are working on the favorite color of people and favorite food of people. And assuming that these two data sets are coming from different platforms. On the point number one that you see, it's an advertiser data, that's a first party data. It provides me each user's favorite color. And on the right hand side, the platform data, it provides each user's favorite food. But when the data goes inside the Ads Data Hub platform, we are not trying to get to know exactly who eats what, but as an aggregate, and who likes which color. But as an aggregate, we find that favorite color, blue, and favorite food, French fries, there are 241 people like that. So in a way, we are highlighting an aggregated result of people who have a preference for a color and a preference for a food, and how many people are like that. So eventually, user level data goes in, but it does not come out. And that's where the Ads Data Hub comes into the scene. And this is the capability of Ads Data Hub. It does not allow you to go user level. So what am I trying to explain when I say user level? Here's an example. But assume that there was a data entry which highlighted that there's one person who likes magenta as the favorite color and has the favorite food as asparagus. And this is only one user. And both of the companies will try to make sure that the other company does not get to know about your customers' preferences. So Ads Data Hub will not allow the last row, that is magenta and asparagus, to get extracted, and it will not be shared with anybody. And that's how we look at aggregation requirements, static checks, privacy, differential privacy checks as well at the same time. What is differential privacy? So it's an intent to keep anonymity, not exposing PII. Differential privacy is a means of querying the dataset to get aggregated results that stops from re-identifying the individual in sophisticated ways. Like if I'm trying to find something about an individual, I won't be allowed, and I won't be also able to reverse engineer my logic so that I do not find a loophole in the system. That's also not allowed. Moving forward. Yeah. So coming to the case study. The case study that we are going to do over here is an e-commerce retailer from the US. Advertiser has its own ADH account where we have access to Campaign Manager, DV360, Google Ads natively connected with ADH. And we are analyzing standard display retargeting campaigns. Standard display retargeting campaigns. We're not talking about video or tracking campaigns, standard display retargeting campaigns that had 2 months of data, and the frequency gap that was set was 10 impressions per user per week. That was the original value. And we are working to optimize this value. Campaigns had a look back window of 30 days. Overall, the number of user IDs that we had were 130 million, considering it is a big e-commerce retailer. The optimization was performance driven. Like we need to have a success KPI in our mind while performing this analysis. So our performance was our optimization performance driven was maximizing the impact of the advertising on sales. Could be increasing sales, it could be saving money. So we have a detailed steps later on. After the analysis was completed with verification, we had time to change the targeting in DV360, and then the campaigns were again run and monitored with a new calculated frequency cap. This is the background. So I would like to take a pause here and let you guys look at the screen because it highlights a very cumulative graph of my inputs and my outputs. That means impressions, reach, conversions, cost, and revenue. And revenue being our success KPI. One of the things to look over here is when we have the vertical dotted line at 10, we need to note down those numbers. What are those numbers basically reflecting? So that is revenue. It's basically highlighting 95% of the revenue. The reach is highlighting around 85% of the users. And my impressions are around 55% of the impressions. That means 85% of the users have been reached just by serving 55% of the impressions and representing 95% of the revenue. And that is happening at the frequency mark. That means we are wasting a lot of ad spend and we are not getting that much revenue out of it. And we are still reaching a lot of people. What can we do about it? We can try to optimize the spend in a way by most probably lowering the frequency cap. But do we really need to lower or up, make it up? That's based on the analysis. So we know that we are not getting more money, but we are reaching more people. So how can we save money? Moving to the next slide. So steps for finding the point of diminishing returns and the frequency cap and a new frequency cap. And a point of diminishing returns, to understand the point of diminishing returns, we will have to answer one of the questions. When will the next dollar we invest give us diminishing returns? To answer that, we need to study revenue as a function of frequency. At the beginning, I will read this slow, and as I read slow, I think it will help everybody understand this. Revenue will increase at an increasing rate first, like really fast, and then increase at a decreasing rate. Because if I'm seeing more impressions, that doesn't mean I'm going to convert more or many a times. So it's basically a function that has to be defined as a part of frequency. So the value of x, where the rate of change of revenue changes from increasing to decreasing, gives us a point of diminishing returns. We calculated the second derivative of the function, that is frequency. That's the mathematical way of finding the point of diminishing returns. And when we created this function, we came up with a new value of 6 impressions per user per week. Just to highlight the definition again, revenue will first increase at an increasing rate, will increase at a decreasing rate, and then it will steady, because at some time it will steady, because at some time the impressions have stopped serving. As a result, what we got was this graph, which is a similar looking graph from the previous graph. The new frequency cap is 6, and what we observed is 65% of the users. That means the yellow line where my pointer is, have been reached by 60% of the impressions. That means it's kind of an even, and we have also achieved 75% of the revenue. Overall, we are trying to control the revenue by showing less or fewer impressions. That means we're not trying to maximize revenue, but we are trying to gauge the importance or the significance of the impression that's being served. And that is what our aim was, and that is what happened. So we maintained same level of revenue by optimizing reach and frequency, and we helped the advertiser achieve same level of purchases and less media spend for the coming months. So we maintained the revenue level, but we decreased the ad spend. Because we decreased the ad spend, it allowed us to value more and like each impression. And that's how the overall end-to-end goal was achieved with respect to frequency gap optimization. Moving to the next slide, moving towards the end of the presentation, there are a lot of other use cases that we have done for our clients, which includes working with first-party data, viewability, and then run cross-publisher basic customer attributions, understanding the incrementality, brand lift studies, campaign overlap, YouTube, and there are many more use cases related to ad collision as well. So this is just a real quick summary of what are the different use cases possible. And all of them allows us to work on maximizing the revenue or saving the ad spend and eventually getting more out of each dollar. That's what the optimization is all about, getting more out of each dollar. Yes, and at last, we have a list of resources, and if you would like this slide deck and the list of these sources, like happy to please email me at Puneet at MightyHive. And there are a list of, this is a list of all the resources that we collect and we read, and we would like everybody and learn more about this. And feel free to ask us questions. This is really helpful. It provides end-to-end details, opinions of famous people in the digital industry as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Feel free to reach out to me, and like I am available at Puneet at MightyHive, and you can also reach out to my.com. Thank you so much.
That was Puneet Gangrade, data science team lead at MightyHive, who spoke about best practices and results of a client case study on improved advertising efficiency while protecting user privacy. If you'd like to watch more videos like this, you can subscribe to the DSS Insider program in the comments section, and I hope you enjoyed this video.